I'm getting a little bit frustrated. I'm coming off loads and loads of groups and kind of stepping further and further away from an industry that I absolutely love. I love doing what I do, and it's getting more and more evident and obvious to me that it's an industry that I don't know if I want to be associated with, especially at this point in time. So just to make you aware of where my head is at the moment, but before Christmas I got this cough. I was really, really poorly. I went to get my COVID test, came back negative, so then got on the phone to the NHS, to the GP, and I couldn't go to see him. So when he did the phone call, he was kind of like, how do you feel? What do you think? And I said, I think it's the same as it normally is. And he basically said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, can you just give me the antibiotics? I normally have amoxicillin and it normally kicks it, and that's it, done. So that's what we did. And it cleared up. But then at that point, things started to flare up just before Christmas, and, you know, COVID started to kick in again. And it was really ramping up round here. And it's the first time in this whole pandemic that I've actually started to get really worried. And I was really aware of, especially in my situation, my husband's a firefighter. So he's worked all through this pandemic. And he goes to work. They don't have social distancing, not effective. You know, he's sitting on a fire engine with 4 other blokes, stroke a lady as well. So I shouldn't say blokes. You know, shoulder to shoulder. They're in that fire engine. You know, their shifts, they do 12-hour shifts minimum. I mean, if they got on a long shout, they're there with those guys, you know, for hours and hours and hours, and then they go back to their station. And the other thing that happens at the moment, because Surrey Fire and Rescue is so short on staff, they have to do out duties to different stations. So they either get sent as a pump or they have to individually go to different stations. So Dan was going to work, and I was really aware that he's out in the community. You know, they're being drafted in to do paramedics jobs and things. So he's seeing COVID. He's at risk there, walking into people's houses. And then, if not, he's going to other stations and then coming back here. So this whole the whole concept of social distancing, it's really difficult for me. So then I had to go through this thing of risk assessing just before Christmas, before the schools closed for Christmas. George, my son's class, got a positive case in, so they had to self-isolate. So I had him off for 10 days before Christmas. And that week before, I just was aware that it was ramping up. So I pulled Elodie out as well. And I sent an email out to all my clients, and I apologised and said, that's me, closed. I don't know how long for. So now obviously we're at this situation where we're now in lockdown, and we are being asked. Personally, I think the request is very clear. I can't fathom why anyone can't understand the request to stay at home. Stay at home, exercise. Now, I'm not being funny, but I have never... Okay, in the lockdown last time, the streets were packed. But what I always found in the last lockdown was we were like playing this Pac-Man game where you would walk along a path and then somebody coming the other way would go in the middle of the road, and it would, you know, the roads were quiet before, there was no traffic. But yeah, this time people are out everywhere. I mean, I live right near a common, and there are roads just driving. I mean, I haven't been in my car all week, so this is the first time I've been in my car, and I've driven out, and there are cars parked on the verge all the way along the road to go for walks on the common. Since when has it been cool to go for walks? Like, this time last year, nobody was exercising. I just think it's laughable. Like, is it not just sensible to just stick the telly on and veg out on a Sunday? I mean, it's freezing outside. It's blinking cold. I don't want to get cold. But the reason for my rant today, and the one thing that's really got me this week, and the one reason I am questioning my position in this industry in particular, is this. we have got all of this stuff all over the press and all over social media about looking after the national health and about thinking about the doctors and nurses and all these medics who are under all this pressure. On the other hand, I am getting messages from my clients asking me if their eyebrow appointments are still going ahead because they're booked in and they hadn't heard from me. One, I don't know how you haven't heard from me because I contact everybody in every way, shape and form. But two, we're in lockdown and we're not allowed to open. You know, beauty is not allowed to open, so we shouldn't be. So I'm replying back to my clients and I'm saying, why do you think it would go ahead because we're in lockdown? And they are replying, oh, my Botox lady's doing my treatments. How come my Botox lady's allowed to do treatments and I can't get my eyebrows done? I feel so sorry for you, Sophia, one of my clients said, that you can't work because my Botox and my injectables lady can work. Well, one, don't feel sorry for me. Don't feel sorry for me because I'm safe at home, keeping my family safe, and I won't have it on my conscience that I am open doing any of these treatments. I won't have to carry it on my conscience that one of my clients has caught COVID and died. What has really got to me is some of these, when I've asked more and more questions, some of these so-called professionals are doctors, nurses, dentists who work for the national health and who are doing private cosmetic injectables on their days off and then going back into the hospital. That doesn't sit well with me. Not at all. I am disgusted, absolutely disgusted, that anyone thinks that they would be above the law to do that. I've gone on to do a little bit more digging. Ethically, is it right that in a pandemic you are doing cosmetic treatments over NHS treatments? Now, my point is, my mum has cancer. Tomorrow, she's got to go for her CT scan, and she doesn't know if that's going ahead because the Royal Surrey is bursting at the seams. Now, it's not that they have every single bed full up or every single clinic full up. It is the fact that the staff are catching COVID and having to isolate. So we've got all these Nightingale hospitals and we've got the Guildford ward, the new Guildford ward at the Royal Surrey. They're all there. They're all facilities are all there and they're all amazing and there, but we don't have the staff to help people, to put the beds in. There's no point sticking people in beds if there's no one there to look after them. My argument with this whole thing is, how is it okay for those staff, those doctors, to come away from the NHS and on their days off travel round the country doing cosmetic injectable treatments that are non-essential? And they're kind of finding loopholes. So they're finding little grey areas that they can tweak to allow them to do this treatment. So it was brought to my attention today. I've seen screenshots of a text conversation where this GP, who's based in Suffolk, travels to here in Surrey and Hampshire, doing clinics in other GP surgeries. I might point out, so she rents rooms from GP surgeries to do her private cosmetic treatments. When she was questioned, why are you still doing these treatments? She said it's because it helps my clients' mental health, because when they look in the mirror, they might not like what they see. That's her trying to find a loophole to be able to offer these treatments. The other thing that grates me is I tried to get a GP's appointment to make sure and have my GP check my chest in December. And back in December, at the beginning of December, I was told we're trying to minimise face-to-face contact. So we're doing a lot of phone consultations and everything over the phone. Now, who's to say I didn't have a chest infection? And actually, had that GP actually listened to my chest, it could have been something far more serious. And who's to say I wouldn't have been taken in and I wouldn't have ended up in ITU. Now, I'm saying ITU, and I'm saying a lot of people might look at this and go, that's a bit over the top. I've had sepsis twice. I've been in ITU twice, and I'm classed as high risk for having sepsis again. So if I get a simple infection like a chest infection, or I had some surgery or Botox done and I got an infection, the chances are I am more likely to get sepsis and end up in ITU. So it's okay for a GP to turn people away who are sick because they're trying to minimise contact treatments, but then in the same doctor's surgery, another GP can come from out of the area, rent that room, and do non-essential cosmetic injectables. Does that seem right? No, I don't think so. So what I'm saying, I think my main frustration is, how can this, how can we stop this? I'm going to tweet this. I'm going to share this video. It's probably going to cost me clients. I don't know. I might well get clients, but I'm serious. I'm sitting here thinking this is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed to be in an industry, a part of an industry that thinks this is okay to do this. I will open my clinic, not when the government tells me, not when the government gives me a list of PPE that I already use. I'll do it when I feel like it's safe. And when I say safe, I mean safe for me, safe for my kids, and safe for my clients. I might not ever feel safe again, because right now there's no chance I would even contemplate going anywhere near anyone's face. But also, right now, we shouldn't be thinking about things like this. We should just be thinking about staying healthy, and having a few wrinkles, seriously, is the least of our problems. My point is, I want to share this video and say that these GPs, these nurses, these therapists, well, they're only open and they're only able to do these therapies if you book them. Use your head. We're being told to stay at home, so stay at home. That's it. It's simple. You can't have a go at Boris Johnson for not getting the information out there, because if you can't understand those 3 words, if you're stupid enough to actually go and have it, then you're no better. You're no better. And I don't have any respect for it. So that is me, rant over. I wanted to just get it out there, because I've literally had it up to here with having to justify to certain clients as to why I'm not offering treatments. It's simple. I'm not allowed to. It's not safe to. And there's far more important things for me to be doing right now than your eyebrows. I hope I stay in this industry. I really do, because I love what I do. I think I'm good at what I do, and I think it does help a lot of people. But as I say to a lot of people who are emailing me at the moment, right now it's a lot safer and a lot easier to get a brow pencil and draw them on and just stay in. Just stay at home. Quite simple. Okay, I will hopefully see you all at some point in 2021. Stay safe is what all I'm saying, is use your brains and stay safe. See you later, people. Bye.